So you're doing everything right. You're fasting, you're putting in the hours. But what if I told you that without one specific compound, that whole incredible process, it might not even be starting?
For years, the whole conversation around autophagy, that amazing cellular cleanup your body does, it's all been about one thing, right? Restrict more, fast longer. And look, fasting absolutely works. But it turns out there's a huge piece of the puzzle that we've been missing.
Here's the thing, fasting is just the signal. It's like the fire alarm going off, telling yourselves, hey, it's time to clean house. But if you don't have the right tools, the cleanup crew literally can't start their work. They never even get the green light. So let's break down exactly how this works.
All right, to really get this, we got to look at the two master switches inside your body that are basically running the show. They decide if your cells are in build and store mode or break down and recycle mode.
Okay, so you've got these two forces. On one side, there's mTOR, that's your build mode. And on the other side, you've got AMPK, which is your clean mode, that's autophagy. The key here is that these two are always fighting. You can't have both on at the same time. For the cleaning to start, the building has to stop.
Think of mTOR like a super strict factory manager. When he's on the clock, the factory is humming, making stuff, storing energy. It's all about production. And while he's there, the cleaning crew isn't even allowed in the building. They're just stuck waiting outside.
And that's where AMPK comes in. It's like the factory's emergency energy alarm. So when you're fasting and your energy levels drop, beep, 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 that alarm goes off. And the very first thing it does, it sends a direct order to mTOR, that factory manager, telling him, hey, your shift is over, go home. And just like that, the cleaning crew finally gets the green light.
Okay, so here's the really cool part. Fasting is one way to send that factory manager home. But what if you could do it with food? What if certain foods could act like a key, letting you manually flip that switch from build to clean whenever you want?
Well, let's start with something you probably already do, your morning cup of coffee or tea. Turns out, green tea and black coffee have these amazing compounds that basically walk up to the factory manager and tell him to take a break. It's a simple way to kickstart that cleaning process.
Now, some foods are even cooler. They don't just flip the switch, they actually bring in a construction crew. We're talking about things like extra virgin olive oil and turmeric. The compounds in them literally help build more and better machinery for the cleanup.
And this is where it gets really powerful. When you combine certain compounds, it's like a coordinated attack. You've got berberine and quercetin. You'll find these in things like barberries and capers. They team up. They basically surround that factory manager from all sides. He's got nowhere to run, no escape. So all these foods we've talked about, they work by messing with those mTOR and AMPK switches. It's all about tricking the factory manager. But what if there was a compound that didn't care about the manager? What if it could just bypass the whole system and turn on the cleaning process directly?
Okay, this right here is probably the most important part of this whole conversation. We're moving beyond flipping switches now. We are talking about the actual, literal engine that drives autophagy.
And recent science backs this up. A huge study pretty much confirmed it. Fasting is not the engine. It's just the signal. It's the messenger, not the message itself.
So what's the engine? It's a compound called spermidine. And here's the mind-blowing part. The reason fasting works is because it raises your body's own spermidine levels. Think about that. If your levels are already low, the fasting signal can scream all at once, but the engine just won't start. And where do you find it? The best sources are things like aged hard cheeses, wheat germ, and shiitake mushrooms.
Spermidine is a total game changer because of how it works. It operates on a genetic level, basically flipping on your cleanup genes directly. It doesn't need to ask mTOR for permission. And what that means is it can trigger autophagy even when you're not fasting. Okay, so we've covered a ton of science. The big question is, how do we actually use this? The goal here isn't to just pick one of these foods. It's about building a system, a daily protocol that activates autophagy from every single angle we've talked about.
And here's what that looks like. It's pretty simple, actually. Start your morning with black coffee or matcha. With your first meal, make sure you get in some extra virgin olive oil and turmeric with a bit of black pepper. Throughout the day, try to use things like capers or red onion. And then, a couple of times a week, intentionally add a great source of spermidine. Think some aged Parmesan cheese or a sprinkle of wheat germ. See? It's a protocol, not another restrictive diet.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. For so long, we've been absolutely obsessed with when we eat, the fasting windows, the timing. But maybe, just maybe, the real question we should be asking is what we eat. Because it seems like the key to unlocking our body's most powerful self-cleaning system has been hiding on our plates this whole time.